Hello there everybody. So if you've been watching my channel at least just a little bit recently, then I'm sure you're aware of the fact that I love Dragon's Rising so far. Like seriously, it's amazing and is easily up there with just pure top tier Ninjago. And that is exactly why today I figured it would be a pretty good idea if I went over why exactly I love Dragon's Rising so much. And not even just that, I want to take things a step further and discuss why I believe Dragon's Rising, in a way, has actually saved Ninjago. And no, I'm not trying to exaggerate, I do truly believe that, and yeah, today I want to just explain why. There are a lot of different reasons as to why I believe this, but today I've tried to condense things down, and I want to just talk about some of the main points that leads me to actually believe this. Really quickly though, before we actually get into today's video, well, I'm recording in advance. The day you actually see this video and the day it's been uploaded isn't the same day I actually recorded it. So as a result, we may have actually already hit 5,000 subscribers. But again, as of the time of me recording today's video, we are around 15 away. So please, if you haven't yet and you do like my content, please do consider subscribing to my channel. Seriously, it helps me out so much and I do greatly appreciate it. With that small bit of promo out of the way though, let's just begin with the video. And also, just another quick side note, this is all my own personal opinion. I'm not trying to put down previous Ninjago and say that it's all terrible. Nothing like that at all. Wild Brain Ninjago still is good in many different ways, but at the same time, it was kind of heading in a stale direction in my personal opinion anyway. So yeah, just keep that in mind. I'm not trying to hate on old Ninjago or anything like that. I don't want to come across that way. I just want to talk about how I believe Dragon's Rising has been, so far, a massive step up. So again, let's just begin. First things first, Lloyd. We need to talk about Lloyd because, well, there's just a lot. Let's get to it. The reason I'm actually going to be starting off with Lloyd in particular here is because he's had a huge impression on me so far in Dragon's Rising. Before, Lloyd seemed a bit boring and just kind of annoying to me in a lot of different ways. Sure, he had his moments, the whole lore and story surrounding him as well was definitely quite interesting, I'm not going to deny that, but as an actual character, at heart, he just wasn't a character I could truly connect to, and he just seemed like a bit of a stereotypical bland leader type character within a kid's show. But in Dragon's Rising, I would say that in a lot of ways, all of that and all of that old criticism I had has kind of been blown out of the window. I think that Lloyd so far in Dragon's Rising is great, and I think that because he's taken on this leader role, and he's not taking it super seriously. Well, okay, no, that's a lie. He is taking it super seriously, but he's going at his own pace. He's new to this and he understands that. He's not rushing into things here. He has been kind of placed with this role of being a leader towards Aaron and Sora, and to an extent even Ryo and other characters like that. But he doesn't really know what he's doing, so he's learning at the same time as all of these new characters. Again, as I say, Aaron and Sora mostly, but also a few others like Wildfire, for example. And I just think that's great. It makes Lloyd feel a lot more down to earth, a lot more interesting, and it makes him just different to what he was before. Because again, before he just felt a bit boring, a bit bland, a bit stereotypical to me, but all of that isn't really the same anymore, and I think that Lloyd has definitely grown up and changed a lot so far in Dragon's Rising, and I think that that's only going to become more and more prevalent as we get more content alluding to Dragon's Rising. So far, we only have Season 1 actually released officially to us, and I think that. So, when Season 2 comes out, I'm sure that my thoughts and opinions will change even more. Next up though, I have to talk about the world building. The way everything was executed was, like, really clever. Especially after Crystalized, a season that many found to be quite distasteful to the franchise, and just a season that simply wasn't very good. Again, no hate to anybody that does like Crystalized, more power to you, I'm glad you enjoy it, but I'm just speaking for the majority, I suppose, here. A lot of people weren't too keen on Crystalized as a whole, but the world building in Dragon's Rising was genuinely great. Again, after Crystalized, Ninjago was left in a very interesting, sticky situation, but Dragon's Rising came in with a completely unique concept and changed all of that. Ninjago could have just gone down another lazy route where the season starts and it's just more adventures, yay, a new villain pops up. But no, Dragon's Rising took a lot of interest in all of the realms, actually put them all together, and gave us all of these new realms to actually explore, because we still hadn't even explored 16 of the 16 realms before Dragon's Rising. But now, it's becoming more and more likely that we will discover all of 16 realms very soon, a lot sooner than maybe we would have done previously, and I just think that's great. The attention to detail, the world building, has just been amazing, and it took Ninjago from a very stale spot to a genuinely really interesting one. To kind of tie into that a little bit, the characters. I've got to talk about next, because as I was just kind of mentioning, the merge happened, the realms came together, and yeah, as a result, we got introduced to way more new characters. I could list them and we'd be here for way longer than we actually need to be, but you guys get the point. And yeah, we got introduced to new characters, of course, those being the inhabitants of all of those different realms that we hadn't explored yet. It's great. Considering Ninjago was, again, heading in a fairly stale direction before this point, and by the way guys, I apologise for keep using the word stale, but it's the only real word I can use to describe Ninjago before Dragons Rising, so just bear with me. But yeah, considering it was heading in a boring direction, the merge and all of these new characters being introduced now spice things up just so much, and it's easily, like really easily, a big reason as to why Dragons Rising has just been so great. All of these new characters are really cool, they're all really unique, they're all different, they don't feel like cookie cutter characters that have no depth to them, and most importantly, they all have such great potential, and I think that all of their potentials will be fulfilled as we head more into Dragons Rising. So yeah, it's just a really great thing. We've got this whole new roster of Ninjago characters. It's not just the usual that we had before, like Dareth, Ronin, Skylar, you know, the usual. We have so many new interesting characters, they're all different species, they all have a lot of potential, and I just think that's amazing. This next point I want to make may be a little bit specialised, personalised, if you will, but when I sit down and watch all of these episodes, I get the feeling, right, that everything is just so extremely calculated and is done on purpose. What I mean by this is, no plot points feel empty. Everything seems to be there, and right in front of us for a complete direct reason, and I love that. Before, I would say that a lot of Ninjago plot points were obviously there in front of us, but they never really went anywhere at times, and I think that Dragons Rising just feels more, again, calculated. I think that's the best word to describe things here, at least in my own personal opinion it is. Some of you guys may disagree on that, who knows, but yeah, Dragons Rising feels very well thought out, very well executed, and very calculated, and I think that's great. It fills me with a lot of hope and confidence when I actually watch these episodes and am introduced to all of these new storylines. Lastly though, the lore. Man, is it great. From Imperium and their history, to the Source Dragons, to the merge itself, to Raz and his secret master, to Ryu, absolutely everything here is just so great. It feels very fresh too. Before, Ninjago was at a stale point with its lore, I suppose. Everything felt like an afterthought and seemed like it was there just for the sake of it. But this time around, once again, I know I'm kind of repeating myself at times here, things do genuinely just feel different, and I can appreciate that a ton. Before, again, I keep saying before, but let me just make the point, right? Before, everything was like, Ninja, there's something I haven't told you, where Wu would just kind of bring in this whole new lore that we, for some reason, never heard of before, even if it was really important, and everything was placed into the timeline in a really weird, dodgy way, and at times it didn't even make too much sense. But obviously, since the merge has happened, that's kind of out the window now, because there's so much new stuff to go over. We've got all of the realms coming together, and all of their lore has kind of been combined, and we're still learning about it. And yeah, to put it simply, right, I just think that's great. It's just great. So with all of this being said, you guys, that's going to conclude things here. I know that at times I may have kind of repeated myself, and if I did, I do apologise for that, but I just think that my thoughts have been summed up quite nicely, even if I did end up repeating myself, as I say. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this one, even if you disagree as well. Hopefully you still could understand my side of things here. If you do disagree though, feel free to leave any of your own thoughts on this down below in the comment section. That would be really great. I'd love to hear some differing opinions down there, you know? As always though, if you did enjoy today's video, please, for me, do consider leaving a like on it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more. As I say, as of the time of me recording and uploading today's video, we aren't at 5,000 subscribers yet. By the time this video goes public, we may be, but still. Regardless, please do subscribe if you enjoy my content. I appreciate it so much. And also be sure to turn on that notification bell to keep up to date on all of my new content. And yeah, take it easy, you guys. See you all soon. Goodbye.